Hi everyone. So in today's video, I am basically doing a follow-up update of last year. I filmed a video of I think it was like 3 or 4 month no buy slash my first attempt at Project Pan. I picked out a bunch of products from my collection, products that I forgot I even owned, products that I was like on the fence on or I was practically finished with anyways. So yeah, this is just a follow-up video. Today's look I did using a lot of the products in there. So throughout this video, I will go explain what the products were, how I feel about them now. And yeah, so stay tuned. So all the products I had pulled out for the Project Pan, I had housed in this little bag. So let me just go ahead and go through what I have and see if we can do a full face while I share my thoughts on the products that I included in my trial of Project Pan. I'll start with the perfumes. I did include 2 perfumes in here. I completely went through my Black Opium. I knew the perfumes were going to be the easiest part for me. And Burberry Her, I have just the tiniest bit left. I did leave like markers. So if you can see that little black line there, that's where it started. And this is where it is now. So I can probably just finish it off right now. It's a really beautiful perfume. I love the mister on these perfumes that Burberry does. So that's what I have remaining. This is something I'm still working on using up. I enjoy this perfume. Not going to repurchase anytime soon, but maybe eventually I will because it is a beautiful fragrance. Pulled out these 2 primers. This one here is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Primer. It's okay. I actually got it free when I made a purchase on her website. Would I repurchase this? No. And I've been trying so hard to get through this one, but because it's such a solid colored packaging, I have no idea if I'm done. When I think I'm done, it dispenses. Oh wait, it's a screw top. Wow. Right, screw top. Wait, that's kind of deceiving. It's like a screw top, but I can't take it off. Okay, so never mind. It's okay. I probably wouldn't repurchase it. It does make your skin feel pretty soft, but it's not hydrating, it's not pore blurring. Like I said, it's an okay primer. I'm sure Pat McGrath uses it in a much more professional way than I'm able to, but for my day-to-day use, take it or leave it. As for the Dermablend Instagrip Jelly Primer, this is probably one of the first gripping primers I ever tried. While I did love it when I had initially purchased it, I find that it kind of makes all of my foundations look pretty cakey. So I don't know if that's just an issue with it being a bit older, or it's just a bit thick of a gripping primer. But I am going to actually discard this one. And I'll use this one today for the last time and also discard it. And that's what that one looks like. For this, I did pull out 2 of my eyeshadow palettes. This one here is the Summer Unrated palette from NARS. This is a very beautiful palette. If I can open it. Oh god. Okay. That's what that looks like. Very warm. Pink, orange, neutral. I will not be getting rid of it. But I did not hit pan on any of them, not even remotely close. The other palette I picked out was the Mandalorian from Star Wars, or from ColourPop. Obviously it's from Star Wars. I love this color story. I love those more like muted greens, and the sparkles in here are very pretty as well. Again, I did use it a few times. No semblance of a pan anywhere, so it was hard, you know, dealing with seasonal depression and not doing my makeup to use these products up. So I failed with the eyeshadows pretty badly. So for today's look, I'm wearing green. I don't know if I want to do the green eyeshadow palette. Yeah, let's go with the Mandalorian for today. But I'll be keeping both of these. I enjoy them both. I love the color stories. I love the formulas. I just unfortunately did not make much progress with them. I'm going to do a bit of a halo eye. I'm first going to go in with the shade Just Like a Tune, which is this little brown light shade tan. And apply that in the inner of the eye, in the outer, and leave a blank space in the middle. I'm also going to actually blend this pretty high up. Going in with a smaller blending brush, I'm going to take the shade Float Your Crib, which is this darker olive shade here, and basically apply it in those same areas, but not as blown out. All of the shimmers in this palette are so pretty. Let's see which one I want to use. I think I want to go... I think we'll go with the gold one and then this one in the inner corner. Because I want it to be pretty pigmented, I'm just going to tap it on with a finger, and you're going to apply that basically in that area. You did not apply any shadow. Just blend it into the other two shades. No, I'm going to actually take that other shimmer shade. What is it? Right Hand Mando. And apply it. And just not blend it out as much or bring it as high. Go and move into face, and then we'll come back to the eyes. For this, I did pull out two foundations. I have the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream in the shade 23, which I did use this one quite a bit, but I can tell I still have product left in here. This is a very beautiful BB cream. It actually has good coverage. I'm not going to say it doesn't have a ton of coverage. I was about to say that, and that's a lie. Like, you will see some acne through it, but it has very good coverage to be a BB cream. Very dewy on the skin, very natural looking. So I'm going to keep this. Just not going to use it today. And my other one here is from NYX. This is the Born to Glow. I believe they've discontinued this foundation, which I am uncertain why. This is a phenomenal formula. Very good coverage. As it states, it's a naturally radiant foundation. Has a beautiful glow, but it's not too dewy. Lasts really well on the skin. If you were to travel, the squeeze packaging is perfect. So I don't really know why they discontinued this. But I'm going to go ahead and use this one for today. And I have mine in the shade Vanilla. And needless to say, I am going to keep this one as well. Going with a brush. The shade's a little off, but it's okay. We can make it work. I personally like to concentrate my foundation around here because it's where I have my most acne, and that's what I want covered the most. And then from there, I'll just blend upward. So that's what that looks like on the skin. Very dewy, but a decent amount of coverage. Still see a little bit of the acne, but whatever. It's not cakey. This is a beautiful foundation. I don't know. They should bring this back, so maybe start a petition for that. For concealers, there were two I picked out from my collection. This one here is the Kosas Revealer Concealer. This is one of my Holy Grail concealers. I purchased this numerous times. So still working through this one, not getting rid of it. I'm almost done though. Like there's not a lot of product in here. And this one is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I'm going to be discarding this one. I do not enjoy this concealer at all. It's very thick. Looks very dry on the skin. I think it's supposed to be a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. Don't quote me on that. But I don't think it's as good as the Tarte Shape Tape. And the color is a bit off for me as well. It kind of oxidizes on the skin. And with a concealer, I just can't have that happen. So I'm going to be getting rid of this and keeping the Kosas, which I'm pretty much done with. So, yay me. I didn't completely fail this project pan. Apply some under the eyes. I have some redness still peeking through. This is like a good foundation if you have like drier acne marks that you want to cover, because they do have like skincare in it as well. So it's very hydrating, but has like a really good amount of coverage and lasts really well on the skin. Sometimes hydrating concealers can sort of just slip and slide all around, but this one I find to be pretty good at staying in its place. Going in with the same brush I use for foundation, I'll just blend that out as well. Whoops, completely misses in my bag. This was another, this is more so of a color correcting under eye brightener concealer from e.l.f. I can kind of make out that I have about this much left. I do really enjoy this. This is a great under eye concealer. It's not too bright. It's pretty moisturizing. I don't love click pens or brush tip applicator sort of products, but I'm going to keep it until it runs out. Cheek and face, I picked out quite a few products. So I picked out this like bento box from Kaja, which brings a blush, a highlighter, and a cream bronzer. I didn't use this as much as I would have liked, but I'm going to keep it. I think this is good for traveling this summer. I will be going to Puerto Rico, so probably will be taking that with me. I don't know if I'll use it today. I pulled out this blush from Honest Beauty in the shade Rose Pink. This is their older packaging. It's a beautiful blush, but I think it may be past its shelf life. It's starting to get a little gummy. It doesn't smell bad yet, but they updated the packaging, so that probably means I should update as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. I pulled out the Balm Contour from Danessa Myricks. Again, another product I did not make any pan on, but I'll be keeping this. This is a beautiful contour product. Very dewy on the skin, very easy to blend out. I'm gonna actually go ahead and use this today. And with this Duo Fiber angled brush, it's gonna take a bit. It's very buildable product, so you don't have to be like too scared of it. And it blends out beautifully. And I find the shade to be very complimentary if you have neutral undertones. Some contours can be a bit too gray for my liking, or they're just like disguised bronzers. Whereas this one is like a good middle ground. I had pulled out this face palette from Charlotte Tilbury, the Glowgasm face palette, which I think they just re-released. I have the one when it came out the first time. I don't love these powders, but I will not be discarding this. It just brings me some nostalgia because I remember exactly when I purchased it. It was like a birthday gift thing. It was one of my first times purchasing something so luxurious. The powders are beautiful. They're like a beige gelée, so they're a bit hard pressed. My only issue is like these are supposed to be blushes and they're a bit too glittery for my liking. Everything is very glittery, very sparkly, but that's very Charlotte Tilbury, so take it or leave it. But I will go ahead and use up like the blushes and highlighter from this palette today. So like I said, you're gonna want to go in with a firmer brush for these powders. I'm gonna take the more like pinky one. But start like dotting it on the skin. See, like if anything, these are kind of like highlighters, blush topper sort of products. See, it's just like a bunch of glitter. It's not much pigmentation at all. I'm not even gonna put on highlighter because like I said, these powders just translate into like highlighters on the skin. I wouldn't really consider these to be blushes. So, but again, I'm gonna keep it. I also pulled out the Maybelline City Bronzer. I think this is a great bronzer at the drugstore. Has a really good tone. I have hit pan on this one. My packaging is broken. But I'm going to keep it because I do enjoy this bronzer quite a bit. So hopefully I can finish it by the end of this year. I'm just going in with like a fluffy brush. Just going to like dust it along the forehead, cheeks. And the last face product, I think, is this highlighter from Benefit in the shade Cookie. It's a beautiful highlighter. But again, not something I got a ton of use out of. But I will be keeping this as well. It's one of my favorite highlighters. It's a nice light champagne-y, very glowy sort of highlighter. I don't love their packaging, but it is what it is. The only powder I had pulled out is the One Size translucent powder, and I have the smaller size, but I still have a good amount of powder in here, and the reason for that is I mainly use it under my eyes, maybe around my nose and forehead, but I never set my whole face. If that were the case, I probably would be able to go through this whole thing. But let me go ahead and set down under the eyes and anywhere I'm a little too shiny. Before you set, just make sure everything is where you want it to be. Nothing has like caked up. If you have like too much product under the eyes, just take a sponge and just blend that out. I like setting with a brush, so I'll pick some up and just tap it in. This powder does a really good job at like mattifying, so you see how shiny I am on the forehead. I included one little setting spray. This is the Wet n Wild Natural Finish. So when I started, I put a marker. It's like here. It's kind of hard to tell because it's a bit opaque. But now it's like down to here. So I'm just going to spray my face. This is really nice. It won't do anything to add longevity, but if you ever find like your makeup's looking a little bit powdery, a little bit heavy, this is a nice alternative to my go-to is normally MAC Fix Plus. It's a cult classic for a reason, but if you're on a budget, this is just as good. I don't love the sprayer or the packaging. Sometimes they come defective, but you can always transfer it into another bottle if you want. For lips, I pulled out 3 products. I had the Kosas Sport in the shade Pulse. So this is just like a tinted lip balm. Kind of hate the shape of these because they kind of go everywhere. Like, I don't know if you're supposed to just go all across. I don't know. I don't love the shape, but I do really enjoy these. They add a nice little bit of color, but very moisturizing. So I'm going to keep that. I have the NYX This Is Milky Gloss in the shade Milk and Honey. Yeah, it might have something stuck to it. Oh wait, it doesn't have that. So that was a marker I left, but because it's a gloss, it has transferred. This is a nice gloss as well. I'm gonna keep it. They don't have a ton of pigmentation, but they're very comfortable. They have like a bit of a milkiness given the name. And the last lip shade I pulled out was from Merit in the shade Millennial. That looks like, and I'll probably use this one today if it goes. Yeah, it's pretty similar to like my natural lip color. And these are fine lipsticks. I think I was influenced to purchase these. People were like raving how they're the best lipstick ever. They're fine. They're a cream lipstick. I don't think it's anything like super unique. But I'm gonna keep it. The shade's very pretty. Like just a little bit deeper than my natural lip color. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my looks off cameras, like add lashes and whatever, and I will be back to wrap up this video. And this is my final look with the products I had in my first attempt at Project Pan / my no buy. So as for the no buy, I did really good. I didn't purchase anything until early this year. However, I have found myself falling back into my routine of buying way too much makeup, spending way too much money. So I need to check myself. Let me know in the comments, what do you do or what method do you use to control your spending when it comes to whatever it is that you like to indulge in? So whether that be makeup, fragrances, eating out, like what do you pay yourself like an allowance until you could purchase something? Do you just go all out and purchase whatever you want? Like, I just don't want to be spending hundreds of dollars each time I step into an Ulta. That is unnecessary. So yeah, while I did amazing on my no buy towards the end of last year, I have not been doing too hot at the beginning of this year. So I need to get back into doing better. As for the Project Pan, it was my first time ever attempting something like this. I've seen people do Project Pan all the time. I find it really interesting. Don't think it's for me. While I understand the sentiment of it, and it did allow me to go through my collection, pull out products I sort of forgot about. So I'll probably do more like shop my stash, which is just like my style anyways. Like, I like to go through my makeup and I kind of like pick and choose what I want to wear that day. As to like limiting myself to some products that I may not necessarily love, because there were a lot of these products I don't enjoy using, so that it made it very hard for me to want to do my makeup. Like, I already didn't want to do my makeup, but if I was going to use products I didn't like I wasn't going to do my makeup at all. It did help me get rid of a few products that I noticed like I don't enjoy using. They're probably past their expiration date, so they have to go. So in that way, I did appreciate this little experiment of mine, but yeah, I don't think I will ever be like a Project Panner sort of person. But thank you so much for tuning in today. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. maybe you're a project planner and maybe I just did it all wrong. If you want to leave me some tips down below, I'm open to trying it again. Maybe I've seen some people do like rotating, so they like switch out the products. That probably would work a lot better for me, but we'll see. I like just going with the flow and choosing my makeup whenever I'm doing my makeup, as opposed to having like fixed on what I'm going to be using that day. But yeah, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share. I will see you next time. Have a good day. Take care.